Yo guys, what's going on? Lifeofrio here, and I want to talk to you guys today about who is the best designed. And when I say designed, I don't mean like just physically appearance. I mean as far as moves that's put together, as frames that you use all of their moves in conjunction to actually get a better performance out of the frames. Now, Nidus is definitely one of my go-to picks. Now, Nidus, his main thing is that all of his abilities, when I use him, I do not go without using them. Now, as far as his abilities, there's some that you're going to use early, and there's some that you're going to be using a lot later, depending on the content that you're at currently at the moment. Now, Nidus's abilities are freaking fantastic. He is a scaling frame. As soon as you get Nidus and you're leveling him up from 0 to 30, he definitely starts having scaling factors, as you can see, because he gets more power strength at by the time he gets to 30. He is just an exceptional frame that was designed very well. Now, when we look at synergy, when we look at things and we have basically a blueprint of what we want from something else, a lot of people tend to point out Nidus. Nidus has been, I would say, a go-to blueprint from what we expect from DE as far as synergy on how well his moves are paired together and how well he fits the game, as in like design and just so much going on with Nidus currently at the moment. So you let me know in the comment section who is your pick, but let me give you guys my full-on reasoning, and then you guys also let me know who fits these standards as who is currently the best design frame in the game as far as using all of their abilities as well. Now, when it comes to synergy, Nidus to me is one of the best frames in the game when it comes to synergizing his moves with each other to actually get a greater result. And the thing is, there's some frames that whenever you use their synergized moves, you use it earlier on, and then after you use it, you don't really need it for all like the end game endurance levels. But Nidus, you still use all of his moves in conjunctions, and that's how strong they are, because they really stick out all the way till the later end to how you're actually going to use him. Now, as far as his first ability, which is when he's stumped, that move is fantastic. You're forever going to use it. His second ability to pull them all in, you're always going to use that as well. His third ability, which is link, the stronger the enemies get, you want to link to a stronger target to keep up your sustain and higher levels. So you're definitely always going to use that. And his fourth ability is just something that you're always going to keep for CC and building up off of his stacks and his mutations. So everything that goes together as far as being one of the best and most well-designed frames, for me personally, it definitely falls on the shoulders of Nidus. And I think that this frame is just exceptional, definitely with how he was designed from the ground up. He also has visualized changes, which is definitely the first in Warframe to ever be there, to where it shows you he's getting stronger with his mutation stacks. And he has one of the most unique things to ever be in the game, which is to where he's built up off of stacks. And stacks is just something that if you play him correctly at a high game end game level, you definitely can see the outcome to what you're actually doing whenever you keep your stacks up. He gained more power strength, he's just doing more damage, and his survivability is just overall insane whenever you pair these two things together. Now, whenever you get to the crazy endgame levels, one thing with Nidus is that if you die, he has an amazing passive to where he goes in his undying state, lose 15 stacks of your mutagen stacks, and then actually you can get that back before your 5 seconds is even over if you have the correct build to how you can use this frame. So for me, I would say great design. He can fight against all factions, even against Corpus, which Corpus is against everybody's weakness, and not just Corpus. I would definitely say just nullifiers with their sniper shots and things like that. But if you play correctly, link yourself to the right target, and actually just pay attention, he can fight any faction in the game. He has amazing CC that helps him out in a solo play and team settings. He is a very strong frame individually or just together. He is just great on the things that he does and what he brings to the team. And he really sets up a lot of group killing for other frames with bunching everyone up together. Now, the thing is about him with team synergy, he also has that. He has it to where he can pull them all in, does everything else for you, group killing. He can link to you, give you more power strength. There's a lot of things that really go into this. He can actually heal at the same time. Now, he is definitely an end game frame, and this was just my personal look on who is the best frame actually by design synergy standpoint in the game. Now, there are other frames that definitely come close. Let me know in the comment section, but this one, I just felt like this was the one for me. Now, the other thing with Nidus is that, and other frames, is that other frames you're using maybe like 2 of their abilities Early on, you'll start out with their abilities, and then later on when you're doing endurance runs, you only start using 1 or 2 abilities. But for Nidus, you keep using all of them, which makes him just completely insane, and I love it. And I think he is definitely the blueprint for what everybody would like to see from future frames, and I've heard that so many times, and I actually agree with it because he's a great standpoint. Now, there are other frames that definitely deserve some pointing out. Now, one is Octavia. To me, Octavia is very strong. All her moves synergizes very well. But the reason why I picked Nidus over Octavia is because Octavia, there's times when I do the entire run and I never use the second ability. You don't have to use it. You don't need to use it. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one thing for me there with Octavia. And Octavia can just do the entire mission with just 1 ability by herself. 1 or 2 abilities by herself. She don't need anything else. Now, another strong mention just out of just great respect for her, and that's Mesa. Mesa is freaking fantastic. Now, the other thing that I would say with Mesa is that her 4 is going to fall off in endurance runs. So then you're going to be using her 2. And then her 3 is definitely going to be locking things down for you. And then also her 1, there's a lot of Mesa players that don't use her 1. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, the Mesa mains don't use it. I'm just saying that we all know that a lot of people don't use all of her kit, even though Mesa is an exceptional frame. Now, Ivara is also a great mention as far as when we're talking about scaling, because her moves are so ridiculously amazing. But the thing is with Ivara is that you really only need to use her 3 and her 1. So you will go invisible, put them to sleep, kill them, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to use her kit. You don't need to synergize as much with anything. But as far as Nidus, you have to use the entire kit to basically stay up and get more powerful and pay attention to what you're actually doing. So I feel like Nidus really fits that one. Rhino, Oberon, Trinity, those are also great mentions, but you don't need Trinity's 1. Oberon just doesn't really have the scaling, and Rhino does an amazing job with his augment, especially with his Ironclad augment. He is fantastic there, but I still would pick Nidus over it. Now, guys, remember, this is just my personal opinion. You guys let me know who you guys will pick. Also, we hit 30K. I'm beyond excited for that. I love you guys so much. It will be a stream giveaway and everything that I'll have going on. I'll update you guys, so be sure to be in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter. Give the video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. And thank you so much for the amazing support. You guys are fantastic. Remember, my personal opinion, let me know in the comment section how you guys feel and what frame you would pick.